So next, we're going to go back to our ghost, and we're going to go to costumes, and we're going to start messing around with our ghost to make him look the way we want him to. So first things first, I'm going to make a duplicate. So we have two ghosts. The first ghost I'm going to call Ghost Open. Second, call Ghost Closed. For reasons that will be apparent in a little bit. Okay, so let's click on the first ghost, Ghost Open. And what I want to do is I want to make some changes to his mouth to make it easier for the code that we're going to be putting in later. So I want to make his mouth red. So to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Fill. I'm going to come up here to the Fill color, click on the arrow, and I'm going to try to choose red. Find some red. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is notice how I could paint different parts of him. I just want his mouth. Just his mouth. Okay, good. So next, we're going to go down to Ghost Closed. And for this ghost, I'm going to do, with this picture of the ghost, I'm going to do something a little different. Okay, so next, we're going to get rid of the ghost's mouth on this particular one. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the Fill area, go down to the eyedropper tool, and we're going to select his light blue color. Notice what that does is it gives us that color exactly. And then I'm just going to use the bucket to come and do a fill in his mouth. Notice that when I put it over his mouth, only his mouth is highlighted. Click on that. And now we got rid of his mouth. Okay, so next, let's go over to the paintbrush. And I'm going to go to the fill color again, eyedropper tool. This time I'm going to grab this color right here, this dark blue, so that when I use the paintbrush, it's going to paint that. Let's make sure that our paintbrush width is on 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint what looks like a mouth closed. Now, I'm no artist, so I'll do my best with this. So we're just trying to create a different picture of the ghost of when he has his mouth closed. And then I'm going to draw some puffy cheeks to make it look like he's chewing. He's got something in his mouth. And now when I go back and forth, open mouth, closed mouth, open mouth, closed mouth, chewing. Okay? All right. So next, let's go ahead and put in the code that's going to control our lollipop and how it interacts with the ghost. So let's go back over to the lollipop or the candy sprite. Let's click on code. And we're going to add to the code that we already have up there. Okay, so first let's go to control and let's bring out an if statement, an if then. Next, let's go to sensing and let's bring out color is touching another color. And let's take a moment to explain what this does. So this is a Boolean statement. It's either true or false. So when this color is touching this color, something will happen. So if this color is touching this color, then something will happen. So which colors? Well, here is where our sprites come in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right in this area where it has the color. And notice it gives us an option to put a color in. So I'm going to go down and use the eyedropper tool so I can get the exact color, no guessing involved. And I'm going to come over to the lollipop and I'm going to click on that. So we have the exact color of the lollipop. And then for the other color, I'm going to click right in the circle. I'm going to go down to the eyedropper tool and I'm going to select the ghost's mouth, red. So next, let's snap this Boolean statement into the if statement. So if this color, that is the lollipop, is touching this color, the ghost's mouth, then this stuff should happen. Okay, so what's going to happen? Let's go down to control, actually events, and we're going to bring in a new block that we haven't used yet. This is called a broadcast. And broadcasts are used for scripts communicating with each other. Really useful for games. I like to think of it as sort of, it reminds me of that game you play in the summertime in the pool with your friends called Marco Polo, where there's always a call and a response. The broadcast is like that. There's always a broadcast, and there's always another script that receives the broadcast. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this arrow, and we're going to make a new message. Now this is the message that's going to, one script is going to send to another when the ghost catches the candy. So I'm just going to call this caught. Okay. So I'm going to bring that up, snap that in. So how this is going to work is if this color is touching this color. So if the ghost catches the lollipop, then it's going to broadcast caught. Well, then I want some things to happen to the lollipop. So first, let's go up to looks, and let's go up to hide. Let's find the hide button. So I want the lollipop to hide when it gets caught. I want it to look like it disappears. Then we're going to go up to control, and we're going to drag out a wait block. I'll snap that in. Try that again. Guess I got to drag it from the left side of it. Okay, wait. Whoops, I want to snap it inside. And I'm going to tell it to wait 3 seconds. So after the lollipop gets caught, it'll hide. It'll wait 3 seconds, and then it's going to come back. So let's go up to the motion blocks, and let's drag out a go to X and Y coordinate. Okay. Now, for this one, let's get fancy, and let's bring out an operator that says pick random. And let's bring out 2 of them because we're going to need 2 of them. So we are going to tell the lollipop to come back at a completely random spot. So in an effort to make the reappearance of the candy as random as possible, in the x-axis, left to right, you remember it goes from -240 to +240. So we're just going to put a number in there that covers most of that. -200. +200, snap right into the X spot. And then if you remember for the up and down, the Y-axis, it goes from 180 to -180. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put something close to that. We'll put -170 and +170. Snap that in to the Y area. We'll go ahead and put that underneath the weight. And then the last thing we're going to do is get it to reappear. So we're going to bring out a show block. Okay, so what we've got now then is a situation in which if the blue color is touching the red color, that is, if the ghost catches the lollipop, it broadcasts caught. It hides the lollipop, waits 3 seconds, brings it back in a completely random spot on the screen, and then shows it after that 3 seconds. So the next thing we need to do is snap this into our forever block right underneath if on edge bounce. And then let's play it. So we've got our ghost chasing our mouse. And so we're trying to use the mouse to get him to get the lollipop.